The Fantasy Flow Podcast wants to bring back the Baker Mayfield commercials. Hey, welcome into the Fantasy Flow Podcast. What a week. What a week. Week 5 in the books, just about. We're recording on Monday Night Football. Jags just tied it up with the Chiefs, so we'll by the end of this recording, we'll have a better idea how that's going. But, man, so many huge games, so many huge upsets. Andy, you're here to join me to talk about all of them. Andy, how's it going, man? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good. Fantasy football was great. I think I'm going to lose 2 matchups, maybe 3, depending on this Worthy injury. But
Okay. Yeah, they
yeah,
hang in the balance.
I
Some
mean,
of them.
hanging in the balance, and a little tap to my shoulder here that I think I've went like 3 or 4 weeks in a row now of like 8 and 11 out of my leagues. So I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty steady.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm only in 5 leagues, and so every result, it just feels like I feel it too much, you know? I get too invested. I know you and I are going up against each other in Dynasty this week, and yeah, I was projected to win by like 25 going into the weekend, and then my team collapsed, your team went off, and I was projected to lose by 20 with 1 player to go on Sunday Night Football. I needed 20. My player scored like 21, and I was just a roller coaster of emotion. I was a mess, dude. But yeah, I ended up eking out a win there. But man, you know who didn't eke out a win was our Seattle Seahawks. And
Oh boy.
I was there at the game in person. And first of all, what a game. Like, even as a fan of the losing team, you know, like, that was just an incredible game to be at. I have my observations, but, you know, when you're at the game, there's so much going on, and I want to get your opinion, you know, as someone who watched the broadcast. You know, they're highlighting certain things. You can identify what's going on in the game. But, yeah, man, my takeaway was just how incredible Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were. They were so careful with the football, you know, for the first 59 minutes of the game. And they were just so smart and decisive, and they both racked up receiving yards. What was this stat I came across? I think they completed like 59 out of 69 passes or something. I don't know. I'm going to
Yeah.
find it, but it was just so ridiculously efficient. Andy, what did you think?
Yeah, it was. I think they missed 8 passes. Combined, they threw over for 600 yards. Combined, they threw for, I think like 7 touchdowns, six touchdowns, something like that.
Yep.
It was a miracle. Honestly, it was a miracle coming from the first half of what we saw from both teams. I mean, both teams were pretty sloppy. Both teams were definitely weren't playing to their full capabilities. And then the second half, it's like new teams came out of the locker room. I mean, both offenses just said, we got to turn it up a notch, and it was just tick for tack, left punch to right punch, big throw to big throw, Ohio State wide receiver to one Ohio State wide receiver. I mean, it was just, as an Ohio State guy, as a Seahawks guy, Abuka, he's from Tacoma, like, it just was like such a homey game. But even the announcer said it, like, whoever's going to have the ball last is going to win this game. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. It was like a March Madness basketball game. It was just back and forth.
I love that. Yeah. 53 points were scored in the second half of this game. Insane. And yeah, the stat that I was looking for, the 2 quarterbacks combined to complete 57 of 67 passes, which is 85% completions for 720 yards. Just absolutely insane. So, yeah, it was great to watch, but yeah, at the same time, man, every time the Seahawks scored, the Bucs would go right back down, and it was frustrating. I know the Seahawks, they were missing Witherspoon and all-pro safety Julian Love, but man, every third down, the Seahawks crowd, we were the 12s, we get all big and loud, and it's third down. Oh, we're gonna make them, make a mistake because we're so loud. And then he would drop back to pass, and Baker Mayfield would have all day to throw, and he would throw it to a wide open Egbuka like every time, and I'm just like, no, like, man, it was he was so comfortable. I don't know who was more comfortable, Baker or Egbuka, because they both were just like had no one around them. Like in all those big plays, I was like, man, how is this happening? Like it's so unlike the Seattle defense that we've come to know over the first 4 weeks. So that was really disappointing, honestly, to see the defense take a step back like that. But that's okay because I understand we were missing some of our key guys, and the Seahawks offense really took a step forward, and the Bucks defense is no slouch either. So I just loved, I feel like even though we lost, and even though Sam Darnold, I think the ball like hit a helmet or something, it was kind of a fluky interception the way the game ended. But I still came out of that feeling like the Seahawks have our new quarterback for like maybe years.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think to make us totally complete is we need like this game really exposed our depth at defensive back and how poor it is. So for us to be tip top, I think we need to have our starting DBs, obviously, but also I think the running game needs to just be like a tick or two better. It's sad that Charbonnet is getting the touchdown or like the must go ahead runs, and Kenneth Walker is like our like gadget back, if you will. I know that's not exactly right, but the way that we just haven't figured out the run game quite yet. So we got to perfect that. But like you said, Darnold was protected. Baker was protected. Like they're both O-line showed up, both quarterbacks, both wide receivers, both tight ends. Yeah. I mean, Cade Otton hasn't done anything all year, and then of course he just pops off against the Seahawks, like classic move. I mean, just overall, what a fun game. It's definitely the highlight game of the week, and might even be for the year.
Yeah, game of the year nominee for sure. And upset, by the way. I mean, Seahawks favored by 3.5. Bucks come away with the victory. One of 6 actual upsets across the league this week. And there's some pretty crazy ones. I think the next one that I want to talk about is this Patriots-Bills game, divisional game. It's in Buffalo. If you have to go to Buffalo, this is probably the time to do it before it gets too cold. But man, I mean, they were favored by quite a bit, and no one saw this coming. I mean, the Patriots, I don't even know that they played a complete game. Like, Drake May didn't score a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson keeps fumbling, but the Patriots defense really showed up. They got Christian Gonzalez back, and I got a couple stats for you here. The Bills, they had 17 games without a lost fumble, and they lost 2 last night, along with a Marcus Jones interception. So just really weird, uncharacteristically sloppy play from the Bills, and they dropped a game. Andy, how big of a deal is this, and how surprising is it?
I wasn't surprised, to be honest. Ooh. I was expecting the Patriots to come out firing. I learned that they haven't had a primetime game since Drake May got drafted. So this was their, I know, right? So this was their coming out game, if you will. I don't know. It's a divisional game. Just like we were shocked that the Rams lost to the 49ers. I kind of took that from Thursday night, was like, if it's a divisional game on a primetime game, all bets are out the window. And I kind of expected the Patriots to make it close, make it entertaining. And sure enough, they did. And like you said, it definitely helped. It definitely went their way when Josh Allen throws an interception, when they're making fumbles. They one team fumbles, and the very next play, the next team fumbles, right? No. The other team fumbles. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. These divisional games are crazy. I love that you brought up the Thursday night football game because, yeah, it's so far in the rearview mirror at this point. We've had so many games since then, but we haven't talked about it on the podcast. That game was insane. I mean, I just love the heart that Mac Jones showed out there. He really deserved that win. It was just an incredible game. And, yeah, man, I'm in this survivor pool that's getting more and more, whittled down. And I'm pretty much at this point, I'm like, about to be totally hands off of divisional games because it's just, you just never know.
Right.
Some other huge upsets across the league. The Broncos beat the Eagles. I mean, we love the Broncos. We love Bo Nix, but no, I don't think either one of us saw this coming. Am I right, Andy?
No, no. I told myself I wasn't betting against the Philadelphia Eagles until proven otherwise, and
Yeah.
here's that moment, and I'm okay. I'm okay swallowing that loss. The Broncos were down like 17-6 or 17-3 or something at one, and then Philly never scored again. And man, there is just so much talk about this offense, and honestly, we're not giving enough bad mouth to the defense.
Yeah.
They're letting these teams come close towards the second half or the first half. Like, they're not doing their end of the bargain either. So why are we harping on AJ Brown? Why are we harping on Jalen Hurts? And why aren't they running the football? It's like, hey, why isn't the defense getting interceptions or causing fumbles or getting as many sacks as they should?
Yeah, the defense isn't as dynamic as it was last year, especially the defensive line. I feel like the opposing offensive lines, and the Broncos have one of the best offensive lines in the league, but like they were able to really handle the Eagles' defensive line. I felt like, yeah, the Broncos entered the fourth quarter down 14 points, and they came away with the victory. I didn't watch this game in its entirety, but apparently this was one of the worst officiated games in that the league has seen in a while. Just a lot of obviously bad calls, kind of going both ways, but definitely the refs had a huge impact on this game, and I don't know what to do with the result because I thought the Broncos were a little better than the record. I don't know that the Eagles were like, going to finish undefeated. So maybe this is just one of those games. And good for the Broncos. Good for our, over 9.5 wins for the Broncos. Yeah, there was like a couple games like that, like the Cardinals freak loss to the Titans. One of the first things I thought of was like our under 8.5 wins for the Cardinals. I was like,
Oh,
wow,
hell yeah.
we stole that one. But yeah, no, just to bring it back around, crazy stat out of the Broncos Eagles game. Same number of Jalen Hurts sacks as there was Saquon Barkley carries.
Oh boy, Broncos D line is insane. They could be a little bit better at linebacker, but man, their D line is crazy fast, dynamic. They're leading the league in sacks. I think I forget how many, how much Detroit, how many sacks they got, but I think they're like neck and neck, those two teams.
Sure,
And
yeah.
I don't
I just
if
don't
you're
know
banking
how
on
does Saquon Barkley only get 6 carries? Like this is such a odd overcorrection to what like everyone's been complaining about. You got to throw it more. You got to throw it more, and it's like Barkley only gets 6 carries and you lose the game. It's like I don't know what's going on.
I don't really know either.
Yeah.
Saquon hasn't really had like a breakout fantasy game. I guess this kind of was one because he got like a crazy passing touchdown, but or receiving touchdown, I should say. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get the ball to your best players, and those best players are Saquon, AJ Brown, and Devontae Smith.
You're right. I mean, 6 carries for Saquon Barkley, no matter the game script, no matter the opponent, is like inexcusable. I don't know how Saquon only gets 6 carries, but credit to the Broncos defense. Like you said, their line is insane. Pat Surtain back there, like, yeah, they've got an absolute squad, and they showed up and they took down the Eagles. We have no more undefeated teams. The Eagles lost and the Bills lost, like we just talked about. So that's pretty interesting. Lots of parity in the league. Okay, everyone's pretty close. You know who's not close is the Baltimore Ravens. They're missing Lamar like crazy. They were already on a losing streak, but yeah, they were non-competitive against the Houston Texans, and yeah, it's yikes. I mean, I asked you what the panic meter was last week, Andy. I think you said like a 5, like a 4 or 5.
4 or 5, yeah.
Where are you at now?
At least a 7, probably more towards an 8.
Okay.
This is, I mean, when you guys when you lose in conference games, that stings even more. When you have over 50% of your salary cap on either IR or out for the game, your panic meter needs to be up here. And everyone's blaming the coach right now. And I'm like, hell, what else is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to just have
Yeah.
superstars in his second and third string guys? Like, what are you pay the right guys, you pay the best guys, and now they're hurt. Like, it sucks, and you're probably going to lose because of that. But how else are you supposed to muster up these wins when they have their full strength starters and you don't?
Yeah, what happened on Sunday, you just it's a bury the ball game. Like just
Yes.
don't talk about it. Don't watch the tape. Just put it in the back of your mind. And honestly, do the same thing next week because they play the Rams and they're probably going to start the same quarterback or maybe switch to Tyler Huntley. I don't care. They're going to get crushed either way. I see nothing changing. And then after that, you get a bye week. After that, you get Lamar Jackson back. After that, you can
Right.
reassess. And the schedule does open up after that. So they're going to be in a massive hole. And this is not how they saw their season going. But yeah, I'm just check back with me after the bye, after Lamar comes back, because I'm not out on the Ravens. I'm not out on their playoff chances. The product that was on the field last week and this upcoming week is probably just terrible. But
Sure. Sure.
speaking of terrible, let's talk about the Cardinals and this colossal, like all-time choke job, Andy. Have you
Dude.
seen the lowlights from this game with the Cardinals?
I don't even need to. I saw it
You
firsthand
saw it.
on Red Zone, and yeah, it was awful. I
Yeah.
mean, the whole like fumble or no interception, fumble, touchdown to Tyler, like Tyler Lockett just happens to be there and jumps on it. I thought there was the rule that even if it's a fumble, you can't fumble it forward, but because I guess it was a change of possession that now it's like free game. I thought there was like a weird hiccup rule in there that wouldn't allow them to score, but yet they gave him the touchdown, and
Yeah.
that just like totally flipped the game.
Yeah, I mean, members of both teams were like batting it around, and so yeah, I think they just called it a live ball where it was, and I thought it was emblematic of the Titans' first victory. It was like they didn't do anything to deserve it; they just kind of like fell on it in the end zone, you
Yeah,
know?
here you go.
Yeah. So that play was insane, and then obviously the one that everyone's talking about, the Amari DiMercato 70-yard touchdown run that wasn't. He drops the ball like what is this like once a week someone's going to drop the ball like I don't want to
Right.
talk about it. That's it's tired. Like what I do want to talk about is what I thought was my favorite play of the Cardinals game, where Kyler Murray and his center they aren't quite on the same page. We've seen this. This happens. The center will snap the ball when the quarterback's not ready for it. What I've never seen is a absolute dime of a snap, of a shotgun snap that is so accurate. It hits the quarterback in the face mask and it becomes a fumble that the other team recovers. I don't know what Kyler Murray was thinking. Like I said, we've seen this. But what I haven't seen is like the quarterback just being oblivious to this brown object getting larger and larger. Like how do you not see the snap as it's hitting you in the face mask? It's absolutely wild. And then his big head, his big helmet, just like
Right. Right.
and then it's a turnover. Yeah, all three of those plays, the interception, fumble, touchdown, that, and then the Amari DiMercato, those are three unforced turnovers that the Cardinals just literally gave away.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you do that, no matter how bad the other team is, no matter how much they can't move the ball or how much of a rookie quarterback they have, they're going to find a way to squeak out a win, especially when when what the Cardinals only scored 20 points on the winless Tennessee Titans. Like, come on, guys. This is a team that you need to bury. This is a team that
Yeah.
you need to walk out of your own stadium with a win. No matter how ugly or how successful, you need to win this game. And now 3 games in a row, they lose to a game-winning field goal by the other team twice in their own stadium. Like, how bad does that have to feel as a Cardinals fan that is paying to go to these games? Like, you think the Seahawks one was a heartbreaker?
Yeah.
Imagine being a Cardinals fan right
Dude,
now.
thank God I'm not a Cardinals fan.
Right?
Okay, last two games. I don't know that we need to talk about them a whole lot, but the Saints got off the mat, got their first victory, and the Commanders, Jaden Daniels came back, and they actually, after the first quarter, they put a hurting on the Chargers. Andy, both of those games were in your face-off picks, and you got them both wrong. What do you have to say for yourself?
Dude, I was sweating starting Jaden Daniels this week.
Oh, you
Like,
did?
why was I doing this? What was I thinking? Like, this was like, of course he's coming back off an injury, a couple weeks off. Like, this is a great Chargers defensive team. And then they just slowly kept on grinding. Like the running game got better, and Jaden Daniel was making these big throws. I was like, okay, this is looking all right. This is not a bad start. And then, man, the Chargers are just throwing away these wins. Like, what happened to them? Like, I get it, you lose your offensive lineman, but
Yeah,
man, like,
yeah.
what is going on with the Chargers? They're fumbling these wins away right now.
Totally. That game was insane. So the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, it was Chargers 10, Commanders 0. And then after that, by the quarter, it was 10-0, 10-0, 7-0, all in the other direction. So
Oh,
I don't know how that happens over the course of a game, especially against a coach like Jim Harbaugh, who's so experienced. You think he would be making some halftime adjustments, but they just got totally just ran over by Bill Krosky mostly. I mean, this was an
right.
absolute breakout game. So more to come there for sure. But yeah, I clocked that, and I think that that's gonna stick. Honestly, Jaden Daniels looked good. I said he was the player that I'm flowing out of my lineup. So you went against my flow out again. So I've clocked that. He had an okay game. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
slam dunk pick on my end. He wasn't a top 12 quarterback or anything, but he was okay. And yeah, I mean, look, the Commanders look for real. But yeah, again, on the Chargers side, now you're missing both of your top elite tackles. And you're missing Najee Harris, and everyone was like, "Oh, that's fine because we have Omarion Hampton." Well, it was just announced that he's going on IR and he's going to miss 4 games. So it's like, now what? Like, now who do you have? And so it's just going from good to not so good to now it's looking bad. Disappointing stuff from the Giants. Shout out to the Saints. Kellen Moore getting his first win. Andy, I know you're a big Demario Davis guy. Here's a fun fact for you. Demario Davis was in the same draft class as his coach, Kellen Moore. How nuts is that? They're the same
That's
age.
that's
The,
actually
the, the
crazy. Yeah.
defensive captain and the head coach.
Oh, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So we have to eliminate another team here, and I have two on my plate. Last week we eliminated. Remind me, we eliminated the Jets, right? No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they were 0 and
Yes.
4, and we eliminated them, and now
Yes.
they're 0 and 5.
Yes. Don't hate me now. I really want to throw in Baltimore in this conversation.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna. I'm calling my shot now. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. The AFC is just too competitive. The AFC West is very strong, and they don't look like they're gonna win their division. And I don't see how they squeeze into the 7th or the 6th spot. And I'm calling my shot now, but this is too early to throw them in our lit to throw them into the grave. Way too early. Too good of a team. We'll see when they come back with Lamar, as you just said. My vote is going to be the Oakland Raiders because the Las Vegas Raiders, because Geno Smith leads the league in interceptions, and I don't see Pete Carroll pulling the plug anytime soon.
Yeah, that would be so tough. It would be who's that kid from the Eagles?
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah. They would if they pivoted, it would be to Kenny Pickett. I think there's a lot of teams that I would feel very comfortable eliminating. It's just a matter of just order of operations, right? I'm going to read them off, okay?
Okay.
Not the Ravens, but yeah, the Raiders, the Dolphins, the Giants. Like, I'm just fine if we eliminate all three of them. That's not this segment, but like I'm perfectly fine eliminating the Raiders. Here's something that I will say though. The Raiders, while they look like the worst team, I'm not arguing that. They get the Titans next week. So that could be, I mean, they're favored, and so they're probably going to improve to what, 2-4. That could maybe help to start to build some momentum. And then the Giants, who are 1-4 right now, their next games are against the Eagles, the Broncos, the Eagles again, and the 49ers. So if I had to choose one team, I would probably choose the Giants because I hated this to see this regression and this horrible loss against the previously winless Saints, and their schedule is so bad. We've eliminated more AFC teams than NFC teams already. Um, but the Raiders are also terrible. I don't have much of a preference, although my vote, I guess, would be the Giants.
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about the Raiders like every week in this. I've been chomping at the bit to get them in this grave, to put them away for good. They look really bad, but you're right. I'm looking at the Giants schedule right now, and they don't have a potential win pretty much until they play the Bears in the beginning of November. Maybe even that's too much of a team to play to. Their schedule is very tough. I do agree. So
Yeah.
yes, let's lean on to the Giants
This
here.
was the gimme. They played the
Yes,
Saints, and it's
yes.
like this was the gimme, and they lost. So I want to punish them for that, and I want to put them in the pit. I want to bury them.
Let's do it.
All right, Giants, you're done.
You gone.
All right. Now, on the Fantasy Flow podcast, we'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the fantasy football stars through 5 weeks. And Andy, I want to get your opinion on some of these guys who are at the very top of the scoring list in their position that are kind of surprising. Guys that no one really predicted would be like top 12 coming into the year. And I want you to tell me, does this have staying power? Are they going to maintain this more or less through the rest of the year? Or is this just kind of like a hot start that's going to fizzle out? I want to get your opinion on Daniel Jones because for fantasy, he's been lighting it up. He's been getting some QB sneaks at the goal line. He's looked very consistent. He's got a lot of great weapons. Tyler Warren's a breakout star at tight end. Can we start Daniel Jones in like a typical 12-man league moving forward?
I have been since week 1, since week 2. I haven't taken him out really, even for Bo Nix, even for Jordan Love. I've been leaving him in there, but honestly, I think he will fall back down. It really depends on Jonathan Taylor and how well they can run the football, because if they don't need Daniel Jones to quote unquote light up the scoreboard, then his fantasy numbers are going to be irrelevant, and it's going to be harder to trust you putting him into your starting lineup. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this has been a nice hot start, and he's going to be a great like bench warmer or bye week filler.
Yeah. It sounds like
But
you
I
like
think
him for NFL football for the rest of the year, but maybe not fantasy. All right, how about Dak Prescott, he's number 3 in QB fantasy scoring.
this is what Dak does. That we forget this every year. We go into every offseason saying this quarterback's better than this guy. This scheme. Change of head coach. This is what Dak does. He produces in the regular season. He gives you numbers. Doesn't matter who the wide receivers are. He gets shit done, and this is just going to keep on trending up. And the defense is so bad that he has to do this to succeed.
Yeah, I love that. I think it feels very predictable. Last year, he had an amazing second half of the year, if I remember correctly, and he's just picking up right where he left off, and he doesn't even need CeeDee Lamb to do it. Like, this feels very repeatable to me, and I love just the leadership and the accuracy. Like, there's so much to like here. The rest of his wide receiver core stepping up. Tight end, you love starting him, and you started him against me. He scored 2 touchdowns. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for Dak. I totally agree. What about his running back, Javonte Williams? He's top 5 in fantasy points.
Yeah, he's a tricky one. I tried to offload him And then it feels like every week I try to offload him, like capitalize on his success, and then nobody bites, nobody takes the bait, and then I'm the one that is very thankful that I still have it on my team because he just kicks
Yeah,
off like another 2 touchdown game or something. Again, Dallas is just they're gonna have to score. Javonte is a talented back. I remember way back in the summer where we went through our biggest bust and you threw Javonte out there, and I remember saying it's just a little too early. I know he didn't work out in his first spot. It's just a little too early, and he's working where he's going right now. Everything's working for him. I think the trend is going to have to stay up.
All right, let's switch over to receiver. I want to talk about Emeka Egbuka.
Oh, everyone's been saying get this guy off your roster now while you can. He's going to take a dip. Mike Evans is going to come back. Chris Godwin's coming back. Does it look like it even matters? I don't think so, baby. Trending up. I am biased here.
Yeah, man. If I have him, I mean, there's no way you can like part with him at this point because he's just carrying you to wins. But man, if you can find someone who loves Emeka Egbuka like you do, Andy, like if you can find someone like that in your league and capitalize, I would think about trading him because we really haven't seen him and Chris Godwin and Mike Evans all on this offense at the same time. I think there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed when that becomes a reality. And his touchdown pace, I mean, he scored 5 touchdowns in 5 games. He's not going to keep doing that, I don't think. So, I don't know. I'm of two minds because I think he's a great player and he will continue to be a great player, but I don't know that he'll finish this high.
Sure, finish top 12 at the end of the year.
Yeah. Let's talk about Quentin Johnston.
QJ.
Yeah, massive surprise to the entire fantasy football world. I can't explain it at all, other than Keenan Allen and Lad McConkey are getting double teamed like crazy, and you're letting the size speed freak like run with just like one guy on him, and that's worked. Like the defense has been fine with that to make that trade in years past because he drops it. It's like, yeah, sure, please throw to that guy, but he hasn't really been dropping it. Instead, he's been running it into the end zone. So what do we make of the whole Chargers receiving core, and specifically with QJ?
Yeah, that the whole receiving core is tough because just last week I was saying start Keenan Allen. He out of everyone, he's the consistent one. But now that kind of role is on QJ. He is the consistent one and at least more consistent. But man, he kind of fits into that boom or bust category of a player, and I don't necessarily. It just depends on this now with this run game going to their third string. I think QJ's probably going to have to step up and take a bigger leap, and they're going to have to be more dependent on the passing game. So for the near future, I would definitely say QJ's probably. I want to keep him on my team. I'm not looking to offload him.
So hard to bench him, and no one's gonna like. Are people really paying up for QJ? Like, I don't think you can really sell high. I think people are skeptical. So, maybe take advantage of that.
Right.
Keep him in your lineup. They're going to have to just keep passing and passing, I think, going down to Kamani Vidal, whoever their third string running back is. I think that's a good point.
Haskins,
yeah, gross. So
gross, very gross.
No one knows what to do with QJ. But you're a trooper for taking all those hard questions that like everyone's just looking for answers. What to do with these players? Right. As we talk about fantasy football, we look forward to Week 6. Andy, let's go ahead and talk about players we are flowing into our lineups in Week 6.
I'm riding the wave, baby. I'm going with the guy that likes to be called Bill, Bill. What a game for Bill there in Washington, as we mentioned earlier. I'm going to definitely ride that wave of his success. It seems like they're starting to figure out that this is the best running back on their team. Yeah. We should probably continue to give him the ball because he's the best running back on our team. Next week, they're going against the Bears, and the Bears are coming off a bye, but they're at home, and it's a Monday night game, and we all know what happened against the Bears and the Commanders last time. It was a fail Mary, if you will. So fail to hail, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. We're going to be glued to our
Yeah.
TVs, and I think that's when Bill is really going to show the league who he is.
Yeah, Bill, aka Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. That's the name that I wrote down before I heard your picks. I couldn't agree more. But I am going to give our listeners another running back to flow into their lineups if they don't have Bill. Special shout out to Rico Dowdle going over 200 yards.
Ooh, yes.
We are recording this on Monday night, so we don't know the status of Chuba Hubbard. If Hubbard misses again, Rico Dowdle is a must start going up against the Cowboys defense. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Chuba Hubbard if he comes back, but I don't know. I don't know. We just don't know the status, but I just wanted to bring that up. The actual name that I'm going to throw out there is Cam Scatterboo. Thursday Night Football against the Eagles. We've talked about how this Eagles defense is a little more vulnerable than last year. Cam Scatterboo, he's been the feature back, but he just hasn't scored a touchdown either of the last 2 games because the offense is just not that good. But
right.
I expect a passing game script. I expect Scatterboo. I mean, he's one of the best passing backs in the league already. And so I think he's going to get a lot of dump offs. I think you're going to be happy with him for fantasy. Don't take him out of your lineup.
Sure, that's good advice because I'm sure a lot of people are getting frustrated with seeing the production on the field, seeing how talented he is, but not getting to the pay dirt. So, yeah, great advice there. I'm sticking with this running back theme. I'm going with Travion Henderson. Antonio Gibson is now out for the year.
Yeah.
Ramondre, for some god-awful reason, they keep on saying, here, Ramondre, fumble again. Like, have another opportunity to fumble. And Henderson is obviously like the more talented, the more secure, like the just overall better. And I think they're going to watch the tape after that Sunday night game and be like, we need to give this guy way more opportunities than 50-50. So I'm going Trayvon Henderson with the Patriots, and they are going up against, drum roll please, the easy peasy Saints.
Nice. Yeah. No, I totally see it. I want to accuse you of being an Ohio State homer, but no, this makes all the sense in the world, knowing what we know now about Antonio Gibson tearing his ACL. He's gone for the year. It's going from a 3-headed monster to a 2-headed monster, and one of those heads just keeps fumbling. I don't know how much more they can stick with him. Like, if he didn't have the contract that he has, Ramondre would have been benched weeks ago. That's how I feel about it.
Cut.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or traded, right?
All right. Yeah, next player that I am flowing into my lineup, our guy, Bo Nix. He's going to MetLife Stadium to play the Jets. That's a very exploitable defense. And, well, you shaking your head?
They are not going to New York.
Oh, is this one of those international Johns?
They are going to London.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that changes nothing. That's actually better that the Jets don't have home field. So yeah, it's a neutral site. That's totally fine. I loved what I saw against the Eagles. I think that offense really took steps forward. Evan Ingram was back. He made a play. That's one more a reliable set of hands for Bo Nix. So yeah, I'm definitely starting Bo Nix this week when I can.
Yes, love that pick. The Jets haven't had a win, so yes, that's an easy smash. I'm going with a guy that maybe you've dropped, maybe somebody else has dropped on their lineup, and they're just sitting there on the waivers. I'm going with Calvin Ridley. I definitely am a victim of this. I dropped the guy. I said, why am I trusting this guy? Cam Ward is now figuring it out. He's getting more familiar with Ridley. I say go pick him up. And I say, put him in your starting lineup. I know. Look at that. Look at that cringe coming off of your face. I see it.
No,
but,
this is a good call. This is a good call, and this is where emotions enter fantasy football because I drafted Calvin Ridley, and so I now hate Calvin Ridley. But if you didn't draft Calvin Ridley, you have no emotional ties to this man. You just see a number 1 wide receiver on the waiver wire for an offense that looks like it might, start to get the ball rolling. So yeah, you probably should pick him up. I won't, but yeah,
Right.
go for it.
They're going against the Raiders, so
Yeah, that's a
that's
nice
another
matchup.
thing.
It's a nice. It makes
Yeah.
sense on paper, totally.
Right. Right.
Wide receiver that I'm flowing into my lineup, I wrote down Kendrick Bourne, but then I crossed it off because I don't know. Again, Monday night, I don't know if the wide receivers, their starting wide receivers, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, if they're coming back. If both of those guys are back, then I don't know that I can recommend Kendrick Bourne as like a start of the week. But if those guys miss again, then Kendrick Bourne is a must start against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We just saw JSN and the rest of the Seahawks light them up. If this is another shootout, Kendrick Bourne, he could catch another 10 passes. Like, I don't know. But yeah, if both those guys are back, then the player I'm flowing into my lineup is Stephon Diggs. Um, he was dropped by a lot of guys, but he just went for over 100 yards in a massive revenge game against the Bills. Stephon Diggs looks like he's emerging as the team's number one. He was recovering from, was it an ACL all off season? So it
Mhm.
kind of makes sense that he got off to this slow start. And yeah, now I think might be your time to pounce. If he's available, I would prioritize him number one. If he's owned, I would try and make a move to get him because I see him being Drake May's number one for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's a great call. I love that. Are you worried about the whole Brock Purdy, Mac Jones with these San Francisco
Yeah,
49ers
yeah,
wide
man.
receivers?
Yeah, no, I wrote down. I said if we get one more Mac Jones week, that means one more Kendrick Bourne week. I
Right.
think there's
Okay.
there's a
Okay.
correlation there for sure. And we don't know which
Yeah.
quarterback's starting.
No, we don't. And we don't, like you just said, we don't know how many wide receivers are going to be out and are going to be available. So I totally agree. I am definitely nervous. I have a lot of Brock Purdy stock, and
Mm,
I'm definitely nervous for how it seems like when he comes in, he's not as fantasy relevant as Mac Jones. And that's worrisome for dynasty players. That's worrisome for people. They've probably let go of Mac Jones or Brock Purdy at this point, but that's worrisome for people that anybody that has non Christian McCaffrey 49ers stock. Like
sure.
for fantasy wise, it just seems like Mac Jones is the right pick, but I don't know NFL wise if we can really say that.
I mean, we've talked to Mac Jones more than Bo Nix at this point. I mean,
Right,
like those
right.
those two
That's a
guys
good
are our
point.
guys. So yeah, no, I think that they should definitely stick with Mac Jones for one more week, but we'll
Sure,
see.
probably. Yeah,
We'll
you're
see.
probably right.
Okay, are we flowing players out now? Is that where we're at?
Let's do it. I'm going to start us off with a super spicy one. You mentioned this London game in against the Jets and Broncos. I'm going to say take Garrett Wilson out of your starting lineup because he's going to
Whoa.
be blanketed by PS2 Patrick Surtain.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough because Garrett Wilson's just been a volume hog. But yeah, I can definitely see things going super south for the Jets, and that's why I wrote down Justin Fields as a player that I'm flowing out of my lineup. This Broncos defense, they just gave the reigning Super Bowl champions fits. What are they gonna do against Justin Fields?
Right, right. And one thing to give Justin Fields credit is he tries till the very last minute. He tries very, very hard till the very last minute. He does not give up, and we see that in fantasy numbers. So that's my only hesitation with that
The
call is
garbage
like
time.
he will,
Yeah.
yeah, garbage time. He will fight, even though there's no chance of winning. He will fight to the very end, and give credit to the guy on that part. But I totally agree. Try to find different options. I loved him last week against the easy cake Dallas defense. I'm going with another spicy one, probably one that you drafted high or that you've been banking on for a while. I say take him out. Alvin Kamara. You're already shaking your head. You're saying
It's not as spicy as
no
mine,
way.
but go on.
Oh boy, oh boy. He's turning up the meter, folks. Oh my gosh. Okay, the Saints are going towards Kendre Miller. They're going towards now Taysom Hill is back. Jawan Jennings is like no, sorry.
Johnson. Yeah, yeah.
Jawan Johnson is still there. Like they have weapons. They're not great weapons all around, but they do have weapons. And for some reason, the coach is just like taking Kamara and putting him in these like weird dump off situations. Not weird as in like obviously that's what he's used to, but they're not schemed dump off situations like he's had in the past. And this worries me with how much Kendre Miller's getting in there. And like I said, Taysom Hill coming back. I'm saying this week, take Kamara out of your lineup.
Yeah, I hate how much I agree with everything you're saying. I love Alvin Kamara, huge fan of his, and same goes for my next player. I'm taking Derrick Henry out of my lineup. If you are a Derrick Henry manager like me, it's been 3 straight weeks of pain, and there's just such a correlation between the Ravens like winning the game and Derrick Henry getting a bunch of carries, and vice versa. And so yeah, I just expect the Ravens to get absolutely crushed against the Rams this week. And I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think they're going to be passing a lot, trying to keep up, trying to make things happen. And yeah, they're just up against it. Derrick Henry doesn't catch passes, so I don't know why we should just be starting him again and hoping that he rips these long runs. Like I just don't see it. And I'm
Right.
done being
Right.
hurt. I'm ready to bench him, and then we get to the bye week, and then we reevaluate.
Yeah, I think once the team gets their full strength back, then you can make that decision to put him back in. But until then, I totally agree, and that is wow. That's probably the toughest pill that we've had to toughest advice we've said all year, in my opinion, is to drop as not to drop, but to bench Derrick Henry. I'm liking where I'm going with this segment. I give 2 flow outs, but then my third one is just a player that you've been holding on to, and I'm saying time to let him go. Time to let him fly. Last week it was TJ Hawkinson. That looked like a great move. You're not missing him. Now this week I'm saying Jameson Williams. I have him in one league. I've been starting him every week, and I'm just thoroughly disappointed every single week except for one. And I'm just saying, where does he fit in this offense anymore? I don't see it. So I'm ready to let him go and let him fly away.
Yeah, yeah. If I could just continue to vent for a second, I had Jameson Williams. I finally benched him in one of my teams, and I just said, enough is enough. You can't hurt me anymore." And I picked up Stephon Diggs, and I put him into my lineup. And then I listened to some podcasts, and they were hyping up the Lions and how efficient this offense is and how high scoring this game's going to be. It has such a Vegas, the over under. You got to get all the players from this game. And sure enough, the Lions put up like 35 points or something, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Jameson Williams. He had like one catch, and Stephon Diggs, whom I benched, 10 catches for 146 yards, and I lost my matchup by like 5 points because Brenton Strange got hurt and he got knocked out of this game. So between those two, horrible, putrid start-sit decision, and then my tight end getting hurt, I'm in a world of hurt there, but. Yeah, all that said, I'm dropping Jameson Williams tomorrow morning.
Get him out of here.
Last player that I'm flowing out of my lineup. I think he's healthy. I think he's going to come back this week, and I'm just saying let's hold off a week, okay? There's no reason to rush him back into our lineups. It's Terry McLaurin for the Commanders. Debo's been killing it. They've been finding other guys to step up week by week, not consistently, but like it's always someone, right? Like one week it'll be Luke McCaffrey, another week it'll be Chris Moore, whoever that is. But yeah, Terry is not the kind of guy who demands, 8 to 10 targets. Like it's just not going to happen. I don't think his first week back from injury. All right, as we look forward to week 6 in these games, I'm looking at this game slate and I'm like, man, I see what the schedule makers were thinking, but we have injuries to quarterbacks specifically that are just ruining some of these otherwise awesome matchups. Like I'm looking at Bengals Packers. Like that would have been an incredible matchup at the start of the season, but now the Packers are favored by 14.5 points. Rams Ravens. That's like a incredible matchup, right? That would be the headliner of the whole week, but Lamar's not playing. So it's like no one's even going to watch it. And then the 49ers Bucks, that one's still interesting because Mac Jones is freaking undefeated, but it is deflating. You're not going to have George Kittle all the wide receivers we mentioned. Like it's just very up in the air. You're not getting the teams at full strength. So elsewhere this weekend, I had to scroll, but I found a couple great games that I'm really pumped about. Lions Chiefs Sunday Night Football. That's headline stuff. Andy, what are your thoughts on that game? And then the Monday night game, you already mentioned it, but Bears Commanders, the 1 year anniversary of the infamous Hail Mary.
Yeah, and that was the game that Chicago just lost every single game after that
Basically.
last year. Yeah, so that's going to be such a pivotal point for both teams, just like it was last year. Yeah, and then the Lions Chiefs. I mean, I'm watching the game as we're recording this, and Chiefs are up by 4. Jacksonville's trying to go win the game with a minute left. I think back-to-back games of Chiefs on primetime is a little, as I'm just venting a little bit, but is a little annoying. But it is the Lions, and last time they did this, it was the first week of the season, and the Lions shocked everybody
Right.
and kicked their butt.
Yeah, the
And
Lions actually won the
so
game.
yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to seeing the Lions again on primetime. They're a fun team to watch. We all have them in fantasy, even if it's just Jared Goff. Like, it's going to be an exciting game for sure. And another team that I just can't quit for whatever reason is these Carolina Panthers. Like, Bryce Young is so bad, but yet the team around him is actually decent. And it's reflected in how they play.
Yeah.
And now they get to go play the Cowboys, like this a Rico Dowdle revenge game. Like, come on, Austin, what are you talking about? This is
Rico Dowdle revenge game.
let's go. Like,
Wow.
dude, this is gonna be just like the Seahawks and Tampa Bay game. It's gonna end up like 32-28 or something like that.
That's nuts. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. Like you've just been itching to eliminate the Raiders in our weekly segment. I've been itching to eliminate the Panthers because I don't believe in this team at all. But they've won multiple games now, so it's like, what am I
What
gonna
are we
do?
doing?
Yeah, I'm like, Last segment of this week's show. This is the Fantasy Flow Face Off, which is a games pick against the spread, me versus Andy. Last time we checked into the standings, we were a dead heat tie, 6-6. So this was a big week, and remember, at the end of the year, whoever has fewer correct picks, they have to name their firstborn child Elon. So this is very high stakes, Andy. I'm sure you would agree. Let's look at last week, shall we? Someone went 3-0. And that's this guy. That's this guy right here, 3-0, baby. Picks against the spread. I picked the Cowboys to cover. They crushed it. The Colts to cover. They crushed it. I picked the Bucks as 3.5 underdogs. They won the game outright. I mean, it's basically a slam dunk. Andy, how about you? Oh, yeah. Oh, bummer. Yeah. He was 1-2. The Jags just got a W against the Chiefs. That was actually a really nice call. I doubted you on that one, and they pulled through. Jaguars lead the league in turnovers forced by a lot, and they got another pick six tonight. So good call. Because I now have the lead, I'm going to let you have the first pick this week. So which team are you liking against the spread the most?
Sure. What a pity entrance into this whole thing. That's okay. Wiping the slate. New week 6, baby. Here we go. New England minus 3.5 against the Saints. I think that's way too small of a spread for a team that just beat the Buffalo Bills against a Saints team that is not very good.
Yeah, I could have totally predicted what you would pick. This is going to be your 4th time picking the Patriots to cover the spread out of 6 weeks.
Let's go. They can't burn me too many times.
They can. But no, I actually like that pick. It was only behind one other on my list, and I'm so glad I get to take them again. I'm going to take the Colts to win by more than 6.5. for the second straight week.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. They're going
They're
against
going up against the
the
Arizona Cardinals, who are absolutely
yes,
imploding right now. Not only are the Colts a better team than the Cardinals, but I just think with the state of affairs, how upset everyone in and around the organization is over there, that was the worst loss ever. Like, I could see that just hanging around in the worst way possible.
yes, yes, that makes sense. It's in Indianapolis, so that's in your favor there. You love the big spreads. I love the small spreads. I'm going to continue on the small spread train. I'm going to actually go Pittsburgh minus 4.5 against the Cleveland Browns. It's in Pittsburgh. They've had a bye week. Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, we know how they like to do, how they handle bye weeks. They're professionals. They're going to come out swinging, and it's 4.5 against a divisional game. And Cleveland is going to be starting Dylan Gabriel. Good luck with TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Nit Heisenberg, whatever his name is, all coming right at you. No way. Pittsburgh all the way, baby.
I mean, I could say the same thing. Like, good luck to your 45-year-old quarterback with Myles Garrett and Mason Graham coming after you. But
Nah.
I don't know, man. Browns have been uppity. They've been hanging around in all these games. But no, that's a very interesting pick. I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys to cover 3.5 points. So they got to win by 4 or more against the Carolina Panthers. Probably
No
not the best
way, dude.
strategy because there was no way you were going to take that because you love the Panthers is what we just learned.
Dude,
So
something about the Panthers just in my heart.
yeah,
I really, just out of spite, I want to pick the other side of that. It was on my notes, but it was at the very bottom. It was on my
what
list.
was on your list? The
Um,
Panthers side or the Cowboys side?
yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, up to you.
Dude, no, but I'm not going to do it. I have one higher on my list. I'm going to go with Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears, plus 4.5 against the Commanders. Monday Night Football, revenge game for the entire Bears organization against this team. I'm going to go with the Bears to make it close, maybe even win.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that would be a great redemption story for the Bears. I like it. If I had to choose one side of that, yeah. So what do you got? 4.5 on that one. That checks out.
Correct.
Okay. So last time I almost picked the Bills, but I didn't. This time I'm also torn between the Bills and one other pick. Um, but you know what? Just because I'm so disgusted by what we just saw with this Monday night game, I'm going to take the Seahawks to cover the spread against the Jaguars. I
Ooh.
don't even know what the spread is. I think it's probably going to be around a pick 'em, but whatever it is, whatever it comes out, I mean, it'll be on the screen because we'll know when we edit this. But I'll take the Seahawks to win the game. I'll take them to win by a field goal. I don't care. It's not going to be close.
Sure.
This Jaguars team is fraudulent.
Yeah, I think last sports book I saw it was like 1.5 Seahawks, but that was before the Jacksonville game even started against Kansas City. So we will have to see where that line goes coming up.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I think if they were 1.5 point underdogs before the Jags just beat the Chiefs on national television, maybe it's going to be a pick 'em. All right. I think that was all I got for this episode. Andy, what do you think? We call it?
That's all I got. Yeah, let's call it.
All right. Good luck, everybody. Until next time.
See ya.